Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. The Wizard of Oz, 1939. Benny Silver is used to being uncomfortable. But this is different. Different from the times he sat across the desk from his boss who complained that if Jews were so smart, why was he so fucking dumb? Different from the time he went to his buddy's Catholic wedding where he was sure the priest was going to force him to drop his pants to see if he was circumcised. And different from the time he went to that specialist whose office was covered in crosses and giant photographs of bearded Coptic priests. This is very different. This is batshit crazy. The temperature in the church had to be 110 degrees. The sweat beaded on the foreheads of the inmates of this overcrowded fundamentalist asylum, like poisoned pustules being excoriated by God, cleansing the evil spirits from their depraved, craven bodies. Older women fanned themselves with paper fans bought at the local dollar store, all the while bitching to the Latino cashier of the lack of a good Woolworth that used to carry the good ones. The men in their cream-colored suits mopped their brows with white linen handkerchiefs. Most had stripped down to their white short-sleeved Walmart specials, accented by hideous extra-wide ties left over from the 50s and 60s. Benny in his dark navy blue Armani and imported red silk Battistoni tie wasn't the only big city blot on this otherwise uniformly rural backwater enclave. Sitting in the second row in a position of honor is Walter Cummings Gordon, chairman of the board of InfoSilo Corporation, a major player in invading the personal lives of a naive and oblivious public, more interested in posting baby bump pictures online than protecting their right to privacy. Beside him sits his dried-up prune of a wife, Martha Carter Gordon, and his ne'er-do-well asshole son Freddie, fresh from his latest round of rehab, intended to purge his fixation with gambling, pharmaceuticals, and women of moral ambiguity. It is the senior Gordon that brought Benny to the southern cultural shock of an experience. Meanwhile, the overstuffed preacher carried on about various excesses of which he appeared to be a first-hand expert. The preacher stomps his foot in a dramatic effort to wake the dead. He raises one elephantine arm to the sky and the other to his ear.
Can I hear an amen?
The preacher stalks his flock like a hyena, zoning in on the weak and vulnerable, ready to pounce on a victim at the slightest whiff of fear, insecurity, or guilt.
Praise Jesus. Praise Jesus.
He stomps his foot again, demanding attention.
There are many so-called religions in this world, and they all say they believe in God. But I ask you, do they really? Do they really believe in the one true God?
No, hell no.
Praise Jesus. Amen, brother. Now listen.
He pauses to scout the overheated parishioners for his next victim. He spots his prey.
Amen.
An anemic female soul in an aisle seat. He bends his gargantuan body so that the rolls of fat bunch up in a mountain of blubber. His foul sweat is held back only by the thinnest of cheap Chinese workmanship, mercifully protecting the poor woman from a horrible death by cellulite asphyxiation. He leans in close so the woman can capture the faintest lingering aroma of his pre-worship Jack Daniels.
Have you ever sent your man for milk?
The woman nods reluctantly.
That's okay, my dear. It's okay. There's no sin in that. We've all gone to the store to get some milk. Now, when I was a little boy, it was easy. You went and bought milk. Today, it ain't so simple. Today, it's downright perplexing, mystifying, and thoroughly confusing. The last time, now listen, the last time I went down to the Piggly Wiggly, I counted how many different kinds of milk they had. 25. 25 different kinds of milk. Can you imagine 25 different kinds of milk? They got 1%, 2%, 3%, 5%.
He pauses either for effect or because he's short of breath.
And I asked the lad what happened to the 4%. Do you know what he told me? He told me it was back order.
The preacher makes his way back down the aisle to the front of the congregation.
Now listen, there's more. There's more. They got chocolate milk, and strawberry milk, and almond milk, and goat milk, and it all comes in multiple fat content options. So, my friends, do you understand my point? Because I don't want no 1% soy concoction on my cornflakes. I don't want 2% almond goat fabrication in my coffee. I don't want a glass of water imitation pretend milk with my roast beef sandwich.
Benny almost throws up in his mouth
No.
at the thought of drinking milk with a roast beef sandwich. He thinks to himself, they probably even buttered the Wonder Bread it's on. He laughs.
Amen, brother.
The preacher spots Benny and
Amen.
points a giant sausage-sized finger in his direction.
Amen. I don't want your pseudo milk, your imitation wannabe milk. I don't want no fake milk. And I sure as God made those little green apples, don't want no false gods. Give me the real thing. The real thing. Praise Jesus. Do I hear an amen? Do I hear an amen?
On cue, they burst into a chorus of Amazing Grace. Even Benny was ready to thank God. Thank God it was over. Now, he could get down to business.